very heavy on the opposite side of the turtle, right? Of course, it also relies on how, also, you have to see how JPL really pilots this chip, because he can appear on anywhere, probably try to go up there to help neutralize Ken's wave as well.
So right off the bat, we are going to be looking at Team Flash actually not doing the fast 3 for the jungler. They're immediately just going to make sure that they have a strong, reliable force in the middle lane and wave clear that ASAP. A little bit of a Shadow Stampede is going to do a little bit to Kha'Zix, but nothing too crazy.
Yep. Early game, don't forget, Chip does a lot of damage. Reminds me of a Hilda in terms of the damage in just level 1. So more than happy to deal with it, but don't forget, the Bethilda as well also have nothing damage in the early game.
Oh, interestingly, look at the location of Ken. He's actually proxying the wave. So I think that they are trying to look out for something here. This way, the Badang is slightly slower and they can look to go for some battle. So Jay as well as Bray, they really gotta have to watch out. They have information that the Hylos went for a proxy, which is why they don't want to continue on to this battle despite knowing that JPL is low in HP.
Yeah, we'll talk about the first turtle fight, right? In terms of priority, it's very hard to tell. I think RSG Singapore definitely have a stronger level 4, right? Because you have Bray's ultimate, closest ultimate, and also with the Cult Altar to provide that safety zone to guide the circling eagle as well. It's something of a very annoying thing to deal with.
Closer is not interested at all in taking that man fight. So at this point, down to the bottom lane, we do have the Purify coming from Vanix, but immediately just gets bursted down by Jay, Bray, and CS combo.
Yeah, JPL a little bit too late for the party, unfortunately, but that was a nice gank, right, coming out the bottom. And look at how Bray could just fly easy and rotate around the map even faster alongside with the Bethilda.
As such, now Ken is suffering a little bit from that true damage that Bray is able to bring onto the board. Kha'Zix is still shy bit short to reaching level 4. JPL is way away from level 4, and it's only if they are able to get that turtle, then they will be able to do something. And in the meantime, it is going to be fist break going on, while in the meantime, we also do have the nether round just going to be caught. Now Ken rushes right into the face of RSG using the Ring of Punishment to deal decent amount of damage to all across the board, while Hades, that is what we are looking for. The Pichudama clears out onto closer and then gets themselves a double kill.
Yes. Abstract, I'm a convert now. Lucas is good.
Right? Right?
I'm a convert right now. You can see the amount of damage Hades was able to do. And of course, apart from that, it's the timing coming out from FLSG. Knowing that Roy actually activated the Cult Altar super early, abuses that, and Ken, that was a wonderful glorious pathway to slow everybody down, and Law and Order to stun everybody, and then FLSG just follows up.
Okay, so now is where the micro game of JPL is super important. They actually don't need to put so much emphasis down in the bottom lane, and the reason why they do that is as long as JPL is very close and they always have enemies in their in his sight, he can always rush down to them, create a shortcut in the event that Vanix finds himself currently being targeted, and he can always take a shortcut to run away. If whether RSG want to follow through and enter the shortcut, then that is quite literally going to be RSG going into a very slim little tunnel right into the face and delivering themselves over to Flash.
Yep, right now. We're looking at the second turtle already. In terms of power spikes, yes, FLSG took a very good one. I expect them to snowball out, and Lucas also a very snowballing kind of hero. Vanix, unfortunately, will not be able to join that fight anytime soon. Technically speaking, hold on.
There we go, the shotgun immediately picked up, so Team Flash have got all 5 members, this entire kampong up to the top lane, and look at this, Hades just dealing a massive amount of damage with a killing spree, loaded up for himself.
Okay, add one more list to the phobias, man. I don't want to see Team Flash angry, because that was them angry. 5-man Chip, just take a look at this replay. It is a massacre. Bray, no way for him to basically survive it, not even with closer to Fizz Crack. It basically tickles them, and this is right underneath the turret of RSG Singapore.
Yep, it's a 1-for-3 trade. That is something that Chip will be happy to die for.
That pickup was crazy, man. I wasn't expecting that. I don't think RSG Singapore is expecting that.
Yep.
And that's where Team Flash, you know, when they go into this kind of situation, when they're in the zone like this, they get scary.
So, 4 minutes and 45 seconds into the game, and we are just generally going to be looking at 2,000 gold lead in favor for FLSG. The turtle is now going to be spawned up for them as well. We got Starlim Science that's picked up for Vanix, so that is going to be Vanix that try and go neck and neck in terms of economy against the Claude.
Yep, definitely, right? Don't forget the quad also does a lot of damage, especially shredding damage against Lucas when he goes to ultimate again.
And just like that, Ken rushes right in with the glorious pathway. JPL flickers in and drops the shotgun. The rest of the members coming from the side of Flash is just going to be stepping on the paddle and hoping that they will be able to bring Bray down. And indeed, they will.
What?
Closer is going to be one of the two members that's going to be left remaining. Wow, that is a very far
very long
BMI dash away.
I wasn't expecting that one, but then again, you see how FLSG, they're angry. They are really angry.
Yeah, angry.
They're really angry. Man.
Oh, man. Closer almost down, but the main thing is they would want to bring down this T1 turret just so close. A little bit more Katizi. There we go.
Yeah, just one more touch from the side of Katizi managed to crack the open. At the same time, CS was able to do considerable amount of permanent damage down the bottom lane, but now your mid lane is cracked open for the side of RSG. Feels like, you know, Flash SG learned, they understand from the absolute zero game, and now they know how to deal against a Mathilda Alpha.
So now, what exactly is something that RSG gotta have to do with this? As for now, they can do it, coming in from CS, but still get knocked out from JPL. This is gonna be a relatively fair trade. For the Spear of Alpha from the side of Braid, wait, that dealt almost nothing to Ken.
Yeah, of course, High Loss is the pony from hell, right? You cannot kill this High Loss, but of course, you know, that is a very good kill for the side of Team Flash. They definitely need it. They need to get Vanix snowball going mid lane.
Immediately. Doesn't seem like Hades is caring about anything at all.
Oh.
Just the two of them is more than enough to take down this Badang.
I almost forgot in this particular meta, the Badang ultimate doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
Tickles.
Yeah, it isn't really just a tickling Badang.
But it's the amount of CC that you basically it's like a 3-second stun right there.
Fair enough. And let's not forget, even after getting out of the stun, you still need to navigate yourself around the wall.
Yeah. So that's the value of the Badang. I think Closer needs to remember that he doesn't do damage.
Yep, it immobilized the glorious pathway as well. We do have the Death Realm just going to be popped, and that is going to be the Death Realm is going to be gone. Well, in the meantime, the Spear of Alpha coming from the side of Bray, hoping that he will be able to go home a little bit faster, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. CS is going to be holding his ground, and he's stepping away only for Hades to claw his way through, dealing a bunch of damage.
Man, I am a convert. I am part of the Lucas cult now, Abstract, because Hades is just piloting Lucas like crazy. The snowball is an avalanche right here, but we've been here before. Team Flash right now needs to try to end the game as quickly as possible as we take a look at this replay, because, man, I don't think RSG Singapore is ready for this kind of aggression. Ken using the glorious pathway is just literally putting down a green carpet to slow. You see everybody flying from everywhere. Roy immediately gets deleted. CS is unable to find a very good angle from that blazing duet.
Can you just see the massive amount of damage that this nine-tailed fox is delivering to RSG? The moment that he's got an S1 cooldown off cooldown, that's all great. But in the meantime, that is going to be Distraction Power just going to be connecting on Bray, locking him down onto his feet, and he's unable to do anything as they are completely tied up.
I love how JPL is using this this chip, right? Usually you see amateur chips, right? There's 2 different kinds of chips in the world. Make it 3 now. A chip that wants to fight front to back uses the ultimate right on a frontliner, and then everybody from the side of the enemy will just back off, right? The back line is completely safe from that ultimate. Second kind of chip is the ones that flanks, try to create space in between the frontliner, enemy frontliner, and the backliner. But JPL chip flickers forward just to use the ultimate.
That's kind of nutty, huh? And it has been a consistent pattern. Oh no, the Ring of Punishment clocks CS out of the animation of recall. This game is, well, for the lack of better word, screwed for RSG.
No.
It's 24k versus 31k. And we are looking at an early game composition from RSG.
Yeah, but we've been here before. We've seen this before in game 1. I wouldn't count, if I were you, I wouldn't count RSG Singapore out just yet. Anything and everything can happen in this land of dawn.
Certain levels of copium here. I do want to see a comeback from RSG, but it will take time.
Holy Crystal already secured by the side of Vanix already, Abstract. So
yes,
a substantial amount of damage. JPL is literally guarding Vanix all across the map. Right now, it's just RSG Singapore barely holding on to try to defend. We're still waiting for CS to pick up the last item.
Oh.
Corrosive, once the Corrosive Scythe is up,
down bot
does have the damage.
So, They have pretty much saw that Claude is trying to push his way down in the bottom lane and do whatever they can. So this is going to be a pretty good push down at the bottom, just so that they will be able to take a winning fight at the Lord. Not that they kind of need it, but this is still macro play at its finest in order to get an uncontested Lord for a better chance of victory.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic, Abstract. The fact that, RSG Singapore was able to solve Team Flash in game number 1 regarding how, they identified Team Flash like to do a 4+1, right? And now they're doing the same against, Flash SG. And if you notice as well, Flash SG this time around, they're not doing a 4+1.
Nope,
even though they can do it, but the fact is, JPL with the ultimate brings everybody together.
Exactly. That itself changes the entire dynamic of what Team Flash would want to do. As such, Vanix can just go off and just clear whatever waves that he wants, funnel all the farm for himself, clear the enemy's creep camps, and he's not afraid of anything. Why? Because the portal appears behind him and is safe and sound already.
Yeah. Top side, there's still a Lord push that RSG Singapore needs to answer to. Bottom lane as well, thanks Observer. It's just minions hard pushing, working against RSG Singapore. Ultimate from the side of Brave just to get out of dodge. Man.
I think at this point in time, in 11 minutes, with the 3 items from the side of CS, this is going to be CS's game. The moment that he goes in with the Blazing Duet is going to dictate if whether the game will be a win or it would be a loss. As long as he's not caught, he should be generally fine.
I think it's about closer, right? Remember, we've seen this before. The Badang can potentially change the game, right? And CS,
Ouch.
the Blazing Duet, yeah, you can see the Vanix, the AA actually start to hurt. Just, you don't even need to look at the AA. Just look at the level difference. Vanix level 4, whereas closest, the EXP lane only at level 10.
At this point, I think RSG is doing a relatively good job in trying to flush Flash SG away. JPL doesn't have a lot of HP to work with, so even for themselves, now hold a second, the glorious pathway coming from the side of Ken, we're just going to be focusing a little bit more on the West CS is doing. He's trying to put himself at the back line, so ensuring that he's going to be safe and sound all this time. They prioritize their own lifeline over the turret's life, so they have lost the T3, top in the middle.
Yeah. Right now, a bit of a defense coming up on the side of RSG, just holding on to a hair's breadth down the bottom lane. There's nothing from the side of RSG's map. All the jungle creeps, most of them are taken away, and apart from that, you also risk running into Team Flash.
It's only 12 minutes and 48 seconds in. We're looking at a 10,000 gold lead in favor for Flash. This is a dominating early laning phase, early game, and mid game. And it's only 17-18 minutes into it where we are looking at kind of like an end game slash late game kind of scenario where economy is not that important anymore. We're mostly just looking at 5v5 slash macro game.
You know what? I like it when Team Flash is here.
Look them angry, huh?
Yeah. You guys got past trauma.
Trauma issues.
Yeah, anyway, why am I trauma dumping in the grand finals of MPL Singapore Season 9 right now? Because the main trauma coming up from RSG right here is to not give the Lord over the side of Flash SG.
Lawrence Pathway is just going to be connecting, but we got the Spear of Alpha as well, pushing Ken in a pretty bad spot. But for now, it's just going to be a complete pandemonium going on as we've got Hades that manages to bring Bray down, all the way down to the bottom side. We've got Closer in the top spot as well. Roy finds himself over there, both of them with the crown, fool, while Hades is still going to be safe and sound and A-OK. CS goes in 1v1, only for him to somehow be taken down by a homing missile coming in from Vanix. That Summon Force is going to come in triumph over RSG.
Man, I love Team Flash when they're angry. Man.